There was a Pharisee, a member of the Jewish Sanhedrin, the highest ruling council of the Jews, whose name was Nicodemus. Because he was afraid of what others might think if a member of the ruling council was seen talking with Jesus, he came to Jesus at night. He asked, "Teacher, we know you must have come from God, as no one could perform all these miracles you are performing if God were not with him." Jesus ignored the attempted flattery and cut directly to the heart of the issue which Nicodemus needed to understand. He said, "I tell you plainly, no one can see God's kingdom unless they are born again." But Nicodemus was resistant to Christ's teaching and asked, "How can a person, once they are already born and fully grown, be born again? Surely someone cannot re-enter their mother's womb to be born again?" Jesus answered, "I tell you plainly, no one can be part of God's kingdom unless they are first born into the world and then renewed by the Spirit. The first birth, the natural water birth, is a birth of individuals infected with sin and selfishness. But the second birth, the birth of the Spirit, is a birth of a right heart and a new mind that is no longer controlled by sin and selfishness. You should not be so astounded by my telling you that you must be born again. The wind blows wherever it pleases. You hear its sound, you see its effects, but you cannot tell from where it comes or to where it is going. So it is with those born of the Spirit. You can see the transformation and renewal of their minds and characters, but you cannot explain how the Spirit accomplished it. "How is this possible?" Nicodemus asked. "Nicodemus, you're one of the teachers in Israel, one of the most educated men in the country, and you don't understand these things?" Jesus replied. "I tell you plainly, we are discussing the clear facts and realities of what we know and have seen, but still, you theologians and teachers of the law will not accept what I am telling you. I have told you about things happening here on earth, right in front of you, and you do not believe? How then will you believe if I tell you about heavenly things? No human now living on earth has gone into heaven except the one who lived in heaven and came to earth from heaven, which is I, the one speaking to you, the Son of Man. Just as Moses lifted up the snake in the desert in order to bring healing to those who would look at it and trust, so also I, the Son of Man, must be lifted up, so that everyone who looks to me and trusts in me may be healed and live eternally. For God loved the world so much that he gave me, his one and only Son, so that all who open their hearts and trust me will be healed, and therefore not perish, but have everlasting life. For God did not send me, his Son, into the world to condemn the world, but to provide healing from sin, in order to restore the world to unity with God through me. Whoever genuinely trusts me experiences renewal of mind and recreation of heart, and therefore is no longer out of harmony with God. Such a one will not be lost. But whoever does not trust me and does not experience renewal of mind and heart is hopelessly lost, because they have not trusted in God's one and only Son, the only healing solution. This is the reality. I have come into the world as the light to reveal the truth about God, his character, methods, and principles, the very principles upon which life is based. But all of mankind have loved the dark lies of Satan and his methods of selfishness, which lead only to death, because their habits and lifestyle, their very characters, are evil. Everyone who does evil is practicing Satan's methods of selfishness and hates the light of truth and self-sacrificing love. They will not come into the light of love and truth for fear that the corrupt condition of their heart and mind will be exposed. But whoever opens their heart in trust to me and lives by the truth comes into the light of God's love, methods, and principles, so that it is plainly seen that both their transformed character and their life of selfless love have been accomplished by God.